Hello everybody, this is jaydenshaunts, and today we have to unbox and set up is another animatronic, courtesy of my friends over at the Haunted Hill Farm. This is the Soul Harvester Witch by Tekky Toys. I want to give a huge thank you to my friends over at Haunted Hill Farm for sending me this awesome animatronic, as well as a fog machine and fog juice to showcase this animatronic for you guys. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the fog machine and the fog juice aside for now. So we're going to unbox the witch first. Her box is already ripped open at the top. So, looks like she is facing me. We're going to try and pull her out of here. She is all twist tied in here. Okay, I'm avoiding looking at her face. I can't see her face anyway because of how she's packaged in here. Okay. So, how we're gonna do this, I'm not sure how we're gonna do this actually. I'm gonna go ahead and take this leg foam. I guess leg foam? I'm not sure what this is. That's a strange part right there. I'm gonna set that aside. And her hand with the book is right here. We're gonna go ahead and open this. Is the book. The book is really coolly detailed. Okay, so I genuinely cannot tell what this is made out of. This is not vacuum form, it's not foam, it's not paper, it's not cardboard. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of cushiony underneath here. It's obviously plastic. It's plastic, but there's some sort of like cushion foam underneath. And I can't tell what it is, honestly. But she's got multiple lights in here, and she's got this design on the inside. There's the lightning and the burnt chars of the book all around. There's a book, not a book, I'm sorry. A light right there, and a light right there. And then her really, really neatly detailed hands. We're gonna set that off to the side right here for now. And it looks like her head is already slightly attempting to expose itself to us. Let me adjust my camera and make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, so this is her face inside the box. There is this piece of bubble wrap that is taped and twist tied around her face. And then you also have the little boy's face right here, which it looks like he actually only has one twist tie on him. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off so we can get him out of here. Just, yep, there's only one twist tie on him. Take this bag off of his head. And here he is. I love the paint job and sculpt of his face. This is much bigger than the little girl on the Harvester of Souls is. This is a much larger sculpt. He's got a curly wig, nicely detailed painted face, and nicely detailed painted teeth. And it looks like they've also changed this, because I remember before it was just a piece of tube hot glued here, but now it's got a screw bracket so it stays in place, because of course the hot glue does end up melting from the heat of that fog. But I'm gonna get all her parts laid out now, make sure I have everything, make sure you have everything, and we'll get to her setup. Here is everything that the Soul Harvesting Witch comes with. You have the two halves of the base up there, her butt plate, the pole with the control box labeled E and G, another pole labeled E and C, another pole labeled F and D, and another pole labeled H and F. Her mechanism, the Soul Harvester Witch's body and her arms. Her arms are normally pre-threaded through the sleeves already, but they fell out when I took her out of the box. You have her two hands left and right, one open and one holding a book. You have her adapter, and then you have a baggie with a Haunted Hill Farm catalog, all of the fogging accessories, her instructions, and your information for your 1-year warranty. Two legs labeled P, which I presume will be for the Soul Harvester boy, which that is our next part here. You have him here with all his fog hose tubing, his two shoes, the waist bracket with his pants, and I have not found out what this is for just yet, but I presume these are just going to act as kind of legs for the Soul Harvester Witch to give her a little bit more form. You will also have these two parts right here. This will be for the little boy, and then this is going to go up inside of the witch. Something that is very important to note, which I did not take that off. That is supposed to be taken off for packaging. One thing that is very important to note is that there is this tie that says to remove after assembly. I assume it's just to make this a little bit easier to grab onto and put onto the frame, but I left that on just for the time being, just so that we can get this assembly smoother and quicker going for you guys. So now that we have all her parts laid out and made sure I have everything, let's get to her setup. Your first step is going to be snap locking both halves of your base together, matching A to A and B to B. Now you're going to locate your 4 square tube poles, leg poles, and attaching them into your base, ensuring you match D to D, C to C, and then connecting to those poles, matching E to E and F to F. And just as I suspected, these pieces of leg foam with these metal brackets on the inside are going to attach to the prongs that are on these poles here, like so. When attaching the leg foam, make sure it is bent like this. Next, go ahead and attach your mechanism, matching G to G and H to H. Now with that part that did have the part with the cable tie that is said not to remove until it is assembled, go ahead and attach that here, ensuring you attach J to J first, just to make this a little bit easier. You want to make sure that this is up and facing out of the back of the animatronic, and then you want to lower it down and secure your eye to eye. Now we're going to go ahead and snap lock on the witch's body, matching K to K. After snap locking on the Soul Harvester Witch's body, go ahead and locate the 2 wires that will be coming from the inside of the witch, labeled U and M, and go ahead and plug those into the control box to ensure that they are connected. That actually might be a W. That is definitely a W. Now make sure you connect U and W, connect those, and then this would also be a great time to go ahead and connect her wire labeled S coming from the motor. Now we're going to go ahead and rethread the arms back through her sleeves, and then we're going to attach her hands. After attaching her arms and hands, go ahead and untie the wiring that is coming from the book and go ahead and attach that to all the way up through the sleeve and down the costume, plugging that into the control box. Now we're going to assemble her victim. Your first step is going to be sliding his shoes on over the base and then snap locking his 2 leg poles in, matching P to P. Now we're going to go ahead and drop his pants on over the frame. Next, go ahead and attach his waist frame, and then we're going to go ahead and attach his hip loop at the top through the pre-drilled pins, like so. And then we're going to locate the little boy's body and snap lock him here at the top, matching R to R. After snap locking on the boy's body, what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread the fog hose and the wiring down through his leg, and I'm going to run that to the underside of the witch. The wire will have to be plugged in to ensure that his eyes and mouth do light up. Now let's take a look at the control box. The Soul Harvester Witch here has 3 modes. She has on, where she will work with both the included IR sensor that does work in both the light and the dark, that senses body heat, and it will also work from the pre-installed sound sensor that is on the inside of the control box. If you flip her to human only, she will only work off of that IR sensor, and the sound activation trigger will be deactivated. She also has off, where she will obviously do nothing unless you have one of your external triggers like a charm mute button, footpad jack, or a multi-prompt remote in place. She also has the option to use the 6-volt 2 amp DC adapter, which is included, and I will be using that. Or if you wish, you can use 4 AA batteries. If you do want to make this animatronic louder, she does have an external speaker port for you to hook up your own speakers. Right up here is the relay switch that is going to be for the fog. I will put instructions on your screen in just a bit for help you troubleshoot that, just in case you do have any issues with that. And then right here is going to be where your fog adapter plugs into, so that your animatronic can send a signal to the fog machine to activate the proper programmed sequence. And here she is in the dark with the fog. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the new for 2025 Soul Sucker Witch from the Haunted Hill Farm by Tekky. I absolutely love this animatronic. I love that this is a whole new take on the Harvester of Souls, which, as many of you know, is one of my all-time favorite animatronics. I use that guy every single year, and it is always a crowd pleaser. So I am very excited to have this witch. Huge thank you to the Haunted Hill Farm for sending me this animatronic. I am very excited to have this in my yard this season. The quality of this animatronic is very nice. I am very impressed with how this is made, and I love that there is 1, no latex on it, and 2, no cotter pins. For as many pieces as this animatronic has, realistically, if I wasn't filming the video, the parts are labeled very well, and I could have realistically probably gotten this entire thing together, wired and hooked up with the fog machine in roughly about 10 minutes. It is very easy to put together. The detailing on this animatronic is absolutely phenomenal. I love that this is actually the size of a child and not just some weird little like 3-foot looking kid compared to other companies' kid victim animatronics. This one looks really cool. The paint job on it looks absolutely phenomenal. The sculpt is great. The wig is very nice, and the costuming is also very nice. And I love that he also has hard plastic shoes instead of the vacuum form. The sculpt of the witch's face is very cool. It weirdly reminds me of those grubs with a really big teeth in their mouth. I don't know why, that's just what she reminds me of. I love the bandages over her face. It's a very like niche thing to like, but I do think it's a nice touch to her. And I absolutely adore the sculpt of her hands, with the tips being all bloody red with those long black fingernails. The touch of her book is very cool. I can't put my finger on the material that the book is made out of though. It's not foam, it's not cardboard, it's not corrugated plastic. I'm not sure what it is exactly. It does feel like a pretty sturdy material, but I would definitely be careful with it storing it in the box, because you definitely don't want the poles to, for whatever reason, puncture it. But overall, this is an absolutely amazing animatronic. Again, I am very impressed with how this is made. She has square tubed poles for her frame. The motor has absolutely no strain at all. I've ran this probably about 50 times already with filming, trying to get good photos. It's gone up and down, no issue. Not even any squeaking from the frame yet, but again, over time, that is just something that happens with these things. They do need to be lubricated, because as they get going, they do kind of run down on their grease. I do thoroughly enjoy this animatronic, as I have already previously stated, and I do 100% recommend her. She is huge. I was not expecting her to be as tall as she is. She is probably pushing about the 6'8" mark, maybe 6'7". She is very tall, and our victim here is standing roughly about 4 foot tall, so that puts about into perspective how this goes. I was really shocked at how much she leaned forward. Like, obviously, you could tell from the photos how much she leans forward, but in person, the motion is so much more grand. It's just going to be a really impressive and show-stopping prop this Halloween season. And again, as much as I love this animatronic, there is one very big fault, and that is the audio. The audio, it's an ongoing theme this year across all retailers, all companies for some reason. I do not know why, but the audio compression on this animatronic is very noticeable. It is pretty difficult to understand what she is saying in some phrases, and unfortunately, on some of like the coolest parts of the animation, when she is sucking the little boy's soul, it just sounds like noise. It is completely inaudible what she is saying or what is happening. I want to give a huge shout out to the Haunted Hill Farm for sending me this animatronic. Huge thank you to them for this and the several other animatronics that I have already received from them, and the other ones that are on the way. If you have the opportunity to pick up this animatronic, I highly recommend it. I definitely think this is one you are not going to want to miss out on this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe.